Drinking lemon water, eating more protein, and doing high-intensity workouts. Is this the recipe for fast metabolism? Let's find out. Hey, if you're new here, hi, my name is Healthy Emmie. I'm a nutritionist, a weight loss specialist, and the creator of the Slim on Starch program. If you want to learn how to get slim while eating lots of starchy carbs, then click the link in the down bar and you can get help from me, and if you would like it as well, a mindset coach and a nutrition coach. Also make sure to hit subscribe because I upload a new video every Wednesday and Saturday. I've had the absolute honor and pleasure of working with almost 4,000 clients in a one-on-one setting to help them with healing what they said to be was a broken metabolism. Now, these men and women are all ages, all walks of life, all different backgrounds, and many of them came in with the idea that their metabolism was broken. So if this is you thinking, I have a broken metabolism, what do I need to do to speed it up? You're definitely in the right place. Here's the agenda for today. We are going to be going over Broken Metabolism 101. Then we're going to be diving into some internet tips that I found, and we'll do a pass or a fail for them. Then we're going to be getting into supplements that will help with your metabolism, as well as the right foods to eat. And then we will go over the golden rules to getting a fast metabolism. Starting off with Broken Metabolism 101. How do you break your metabolism? That's the first question that's probably on your mind here. You don't, okay? A great news flash for you is that you cannot break your metabolism. Your metabolism is not broken. I know that it might feel that way, but facts versus feelings. You might feel like your metabolism is broken, but factually, you cannot break it. The metabolism is a very adaptable process within the body, and it responds to how much we're eating and an array of other factors, but the largest contributor is going to be how much we're eating, the amount that we are eating. So the metabolism is like a fire, okay? Picture that you have a fireplace. When you put more logs into the fire, what happens? The fire gets bigger. When the logs are taken out, what happens? The fire gets smaller. It's the same thing with our metabolism. The more food that we eat and the more regularly we eat, the more that metabolism burns. The less that we eat and the less frequently that we eat, the metabolism will adapt to that and will slow down. Now, don't panic and think, oh no, I've been restricting, I've been dieting, I've been doing these crash diets, am I breaking my metabolism? The human body is so wise that it slows down for a reason. It is meant to do this, and it is not going to cause you to sabotage yourself, gain weight, and all hope is not lost here. The metabolism is so adaptive that pretty quickly, within you changing the way that you eat, which I'm going to talk about in today's video, you will see changes. Your metabolism is going to adapt to that. I also want to debunk the myth that if you have been eating a crash diet or a low-calorie diet for a long time, that this means that your metabolism is so slow and it's going to stay so slow for the long term. The great news is that this is not the case. The human body is ready to heal, and it is so adaptable that once you start implementing what I'm talking about today, the metabolism is going to say, thanks, we've been waiting for this. Let's go, let's do it. And the amount of calories that your body burns at rest, which ties into this word metabolism, is going to increase. In Broken Metabolism 101, I also want to address the idea that as you get older, your metabolism slows. This is true, but this does not mean that you are inevitably going to gain weight as you get older. The reason why we see the metabolism slow as we get older is because muscle mass starts to decline naturally as we get older, which is why it's so important for us to continue to engage in daily exercise, in some weight-bearing exercise, and some weight resistance training so that we can maintain that muscle mass. Now, I also have people say to me, does this mean that I have to eat loads of protein in order to keep my muscle mass up? And I'll address that a little bit later in the video when we talk about the internet pass and fail. But please don't think that because you're getting older, this means that your metabolism is slowing to the point where you're going to hold on to excess weight. Women have been aging and going through menopause for hundreds of thousands of years, and nature would have a huge flaw if it designed us to be individuals that got sick and overweight as we got older. It is not going to be the case that you are naturally going to become overweight past the point of what's healthy as you get older. Nature has not designed it that way. And I'll just show you some examples right now. We've all seen Healthy Mummy, my mom, who went through my Slim on Starch program. This is her before and after she went through menopause. Or my client Haifa just shared this with us last week, that she just turned 40, and this is when perimenopause. A lot of women say my metabolism's just all out of whack right now because of perimenopause. Look at what Haifa achieved. This is just 6 weeks. This before and after photo is only 6 weeks, and she's still, working with us. We still have a journey that we want to continue to go on here. I mean, here's my client Darlene, who after 50 years old has released over 50 pounds. Or my client Gayleen, who after menopause, look at this difference. And she said, I was at rock bottom. I thought that menopause destroyed my metabolism, and that was that. But it wasn't true. And by the way, all of these ladies' interviews and stories are below, so you can check those out after you watch this video. They're linked in the down bar. So please know from Broken Metabolism 101 that your metabolism cannot break. Your metabolism is highly adaptable. You can heal. You are not the magical unicorn that this won't work for. And no matter where you are in your stage of life, please do not think that because you're a certain age that your metabolism is doomed. It is not, I assure you. So now let's get into some good old internet tips. Should you believe all these tips? Well, like Abraham Lincoln said, everything that you read on the internet is true. That's why you have me here. So the first tip that I see here is to do a high intensity workout. I actually end up seeing high intensity workouts end up backfiring for many individuals that are on their health and weight loss journey. One of the reasons is because of how it affects us hormonally. High intensity workouts can be a wreck for especially women in the sense of their hormones. It can spike cortisol, and cortisol is actually going to be a fat storage hormone. So doing these very high intensity exercises might not be your best bet just in the realm of health and weight loss in general. And just as a side note, the effect that I see happen with high intensity workouts on weight loss is that individuals, their hunger is going to be altered from it. And it goes one of two ways. Either individuals are super hungry from the high intensity workouts, or right after the high intensity workouts, they feel almost a little bit nauseous and sick. And so they don't eat and don't give their body the fuel that it needs. And all of this true hunger that the body actually has is sort of culminating beneath the surface. And then finally, when they feel like they have an appetite, they haven't eaten in 6 or 7 hours and they end up overeating because of it. Just as an aside, I do not believe that high intensity workouts are going to be the path to improving and increasing your metabolism. The next tip is to drink green tea or oolong tea. And I'm not surprised that I see this in an article because people love low-hanging fruit. They love, I can continue to do what I'm doing. I can continue to eat junk food, but so long as I drink green tea, it's going to boost my metabolism and I'm going to be good to go. We want the quick fix. We want the easy thing to do. Drink green tea and you'll be good to go. It is a sexy, easy band-aid of a quote-unquote solution. But this is not going to be the key to improving our metabolism. And it's about time I probably get into what the key to improving our metabolism is, but let me just debunk a few more of these internet hacks. Drinking green tea is not going to outdo if you are not eating properly, which is going to be one of the golden rules that we'll talk about. None of these tips are going to be effective if you are not eating properly, eating regularly, and nourishing your body. If you are engaging in habits that are not going to be productive to your health, there's no one magic bullet that you can do that's going to outdo everything. The answer is not as sexy as just drinking green tea or lemon water. Intermittent fasting to speed up your metabolism. Please no. Intermittent fasting is actually going to be a wreck for your metabolism. I also want to point out here that intermittent fasting, the studies done on intermittent fasting were mostly for men. For women, it's a hormonal nightmare. What I see happen when individuals engage in intermittent fasting is they're going long periods of time without eating. And what did I talk about before? That if you don't eat regularly, if you don't eat enough food, then your metabolism is going to slow as a response to that. So intermittent fasting is not going to speed up your metabolism. It's probably going to slow it down. And to be honest with you, I usually see it cause weight gain with individuals, because what happens is this: the body detects that it's going long periods without eating, and that there are short periods where you do get food. So the brain is super smart. It picks up on this, and what it does is this: it says, okay, we're not getting food from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. So don't send any hunger cues then. But then when the food starts coming at 12 p.m., jack up those hunger cues. And people end up overeating. You may not feel like you're overeating, so don't think, oh, Emmie, I don't overeat at that time, so I'm not overeating. You might not feel like you're overeating, but you're eating more food than your body truly needs, because the body thinks that there's a famine and that it needs to store fat at this time. So it's going to up your hunger so that you end up overeating when you're within that window. It truly breaks my heart to see individuals engage in this, because I know that your intentions are so pure and people work so hard to maintain this intermittent fasting, and it ends up backfiring. So no, I don't recommend intermittent fasting to improve your metabolism. Eat more protein. Now, this is just a fundamental misunderstanding of what is truly needed to maintain muscle mass, because the more lean muscle mass we have on our bodies, the more calories we burn at rest, a faster metabolism that we have. People misunderstandingly conclude the right way to maintain muscle mass, and they think, oh, if I just eat tons of protein, then I'll keep this muscle in my body as I get older. And this is something I very often hear from my clients in their 50s, 60s, 70s, is I've been advised that I should eat more protein because of menopause or whatever, aging. And what I always like to ask in response is, okay, did they tell you to do weight-bearing exercise? Did they tell you to walk with a weighted vest? Did they tell you to do any resistance training? No. Now, eating all of that protein, it's not going to do anything if you're not engaging in regular weight-bearing exercise. And don't get intimidated and think, oh, Emmie, do I have to go to the gym? Do I have to do all this crazy stuff and get lifting gloves and dumbbells and all this and TRX bands? You don't have to do that. Weight-bearing exercise can be as simple as getting a weighted vest on Amazon and walking around the block in it. Or it could be ordering dumbbells and using those just in your home. This doesn't have to be intense, but what it does have to be is consistent in weight bearing. You see, as we get older, as women get older, we naturally will lose muscle mass, which not only is going to be damaging to our metabolism, but also puts us at risk for osteoporosis. Because if the bones don't need to hold up a substantial amount of body weight, then the bones will become weaker. This has been a little bit of an aside from the metabolism talk, but it is important for me to discuss this. So, is eating loads of protein going to be the way to improve your metabolism? No, the better thing to say here is to make sure that you are engaging in regular weight-bearing exercise so that you can keep your muscles strong. Now let's talk about supplements. This is my vitamin B12 supplement. If you eat a whole food plant-based diet, you are not getting vitamin B12 from your food because it's not found in whole plant foods. This is because it is a bacteria, and due to modern sanitization, we are not going to be getting that bacteria from drinking from the streams and eating food that's right off the ground like we would have in the caveman days. So back in the caveman days, people got their B12 just by eating what was around us. But due to modern sanitization, we need to make sure that we supplement with vitamin B12. It's estimated that about half of Americans are low in vitamin B12. And let me tell you what happens if you don't have enough vitamin B12. Well, vitamin B12 plays a crucial role in our metabolism because it aids in the process of converting food into energy, i.e. burning what we eat. So if we don't have adequate B12 levels, then this process is disrupted and the body is not going to use food efficiently, and it will store more food as fat, more energy as fat, as opposed to burning it as it's supposed to do. Additionally, being low in vitamin B12 contributes to fatigue. And if we are fatigued, then we're not moving our body as much. If we're not moving our body as much, then remember what I was talking about with engaging in regular exercise and making sure that we keep our muscle mass up, our metabolism will start to slowly decline. Vitamin B12 is also crucial in the role of our red blood cell production, and red blood cells are going to deliver oxygen all throughout the body. And if that process is impaired, then our overall metabolic efficiency is impaired as well. So our cellular metabolism decreases. Most vitamin B12s on the market are disgusting, and so I made one that doesn't have any sugar, any oil, any fillers, any gross stuff, because all that other stuff is not going to contribute to a healthy body. So this is linked in the down bar. I do recommend that you subscribe. Not only do you save money, but it gets delivered to your door every month. You don't have to worry about running out or having the ill effects on your metabolism. Of course, always consult a healthcare provider before supplementing. So what are you going to eat? You are going to eat a whole food plant-based diet. Plant-based foods, real, whole, natural produce, influences our metabolism greatly by influencing something called AMPK, which plays a crucial role in our metabolism. I don't want to bore you and overwhelm you with the science here, but AMPK is going to influence our glucose uptake levels. This is also known as our blood sugar levels and our insulin levels. You may have heard these terms. You hear insulin resistance and how that relates to fat storage. We need to make sure that our blood glucose is being used properly, because if it's not, then our fat storage goes up. And I know I'm tossing around a lot of words here, but what you need to know is this: that when we eat whole plant foods, our blood glucose operates properly. That means our insulin sensitivity is looking good. Our cells are receiving and producing the energy that they are supposed to, which means that the food that we eat is being used and burned properly by the body. And it is not in an inefficient course, which means that we would store more fat. So our body works exactly the way that nature designed it to be when we eat whole plant foods. We're supposed to eat foods, burn it for energy, and not store fat. Unfortunately, many people are eating foods that the body is not designed to eat, which means that all these processes don't work properly. We're not burning energy effectively, and we are storing more energy. How do we prevent that from happening? We eat a whole food plant-based diet. And what does a whole food plant-based diet look like? Well, you can get started with my cookbooks and just start making the recipes in there. Or you can join the Slim on Starch program, and I will tell you exactly what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, and cover every single base so that you don't have to try to figure it out on yourself. But it is a diet of starches, potatoes, rice, beans, oatmeal, corn, quinoa, vegetables, all vegetables, fruits, all fruits, legumes, all legumes, beans, peas, and lentils, and then sparingly used as condiments, nuts, seeds, avocado, nut butters, and then you can sprinkle in some lightly processed foods that are still totally healthy, so things like corn tortillas and pasta and fresh bread. Make sure that you are not including any animal products, so no meat, cheese, butter, dairy, fish, fowl, and no oil. So we're going to be eating vegetables, and we're going to be eating potatoes and rice and salads, but we're not going to be adding any oil to them. We're not going to be cooking with any oil. And if you're thinking, how the heck do I do that? Either get my cookbooks or join the Slim on Starch program, because I'll tell you exactly how to do that. Or you can check out the other videos on my channel and try to piece it together yourself. But this is your health. This is your body. I personally wouldn't mess around with it and kind of try to figure it out on my own. This is where you live. If you have your health, you have 1,000 wishes. If you don't have your health, you have just one: to be healthy. So I personally wouldn't mess around with it. I would just go straight to the source and get this done. Now, I do want you to stay away from the animal products. The reason being, animal products, meat and cheese and dairy and butter, they're not going to contain fiber, and fiber is going to be hugely beneficial for us maintaining a healthy metabolism and making sure our metabolic rate is where we want it to be. Fiber is going to aid in blood sugar regulation. If your blood sugar levels are not steady, you're going to have peaks and dips in your energy, which is going to lead to spurts and dips of eating, not eating, eating, not eating. You're riding the high, you don't need food, then your blood sugar crashes and you go and eat a bunch of food again. And so now you're giving your body huge spurts of energy and then long periods without energy, which is going to ignite that sort of feast and famine phenomenon that I talked about about earlier, which is going to contribute to slowing down and conserving energy, conserving the metabolism. Not a good look. Additionally, because animal products do not contain fiber, they're not going to help us cultivate a healthy gut microbiome. Fiber is absolutely key to establishing a healthy gut microbiome. And if we don't have that healthy gut microbiome, what a healthy gut microbiome does is it can actually pull energy from food components that might not be digestible otherwise if we didn't have that gut microbiome. So what does that mean? This is something known as energy harvesting. If you don't have a healthy gut microbiome, you might be eating things that the gut is not able to get energy from. Look who just came to join us. This means that you are not using energy efficiently and you're going to end up eating more food, eating more calories because the gut wasn't able to get nutrition from what it was eating. So by eating a diverse array of plant foods, you cultivate a microbiome that can use calories from everything that you're eating. Otherwise, you're going to be eating things and the body can't utilize those for energy and it gets stored as fat. Additionally, I talked about those B vitamins earlier, right? Well, if we don't have a healthy gut, then we might not be able to properly absorb those B vitamins, which contribute to our metabolism regulation. So once again, a coin in the jar for the plant-based foods. We've gotten a lot of information so far, so now it's time for me to give the golden rules for a healthy metabolism in terms of mindset as well as nutrition. I am huge on mindset. If you are in my Slim on Starch program, you know that mindset is something that we work on regularly. If you do the coaching, then you have a mindset coach. So mindset is big here. So let's go over the golden rules. So let's start with nutrition. First and foremost, of course, eat a whole food plant-based diet. Again, you can watch my channel and try to figure it out on your own. I give a lot of great information on here. If you want to go straight to the source, then just join the Slim on Starch program. There's information about that in the down bar, how you can get started. You can get some of my cookbooks and just start making the cookbook meals. Just get your hands dirty. Don't get overwhelmed. Just launch right into it. Don't trip over done on the way to perfect. The next golden rule, which is absolutely huge, is to please, for the love of goodness, eat when you are hungry. Please don't do the intermittent fasting. Please don't try to abide by only eating at certain times of day. Eat when you're truly hungry. The body is so wise. We are supposed to have perfectly functioning metabolisms, but if we don't eat when we're hungry, the body is going to pick up on that and it's going to increase our hunger when we do actually eat and encourage us to store more energy as fat because we're not eating regularly and the body thinks that we're in a famine. When we don't eat it regularly, the body's going to start to conserve its energy, conserve its metabolism, slow down the metabolism, which we want to avoid. Golden rule number 3, please make sure that you are supplementing with vitamin B12. Of course, consult your healthcare provider before doing so. Now onto the mindset golden rules. First, open yourself to the idea that you can heal. I think that all my clients in the Slim on Starch program, you've seen their interviews, and if you haven't, they're linked in the down bar. But these are testaments to the fact that the body can heal no matter what age you're at, no matter what your background is. I promise you, you can heal. I originally had written this mindset golden rule as drop the victim mentality, but I thought that might hurt some people's feelings. But I'm just going to say it, drop the victim mentality that my body is broken, my metabolism is broken, I am doomed. None of this is true. You have the ability to heal. So let's start to open you to the idea of that, because whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you are right. So let's start to open you up to the idea that you have the ability to heal. The metabolism is so adaptable. It's like a fire. Put more wood into it. Start to care for your body. Nourish it properly through a whole food plant-based diet, and the body will respond beautifully. The next mindset tip is to stop micromanaging this. Stop trying to control the amount that you're eating by only eating during certain times or only eating a certain amount of calories or doing this fasting or these cleanses. Your body is so much smarter than you're giving it credit for. The body knows how to be healthy. It wants to have a firing metabolism. So let it. Get out of your body's way. Stop self-sabotaging. Allow your body to heal. Support it by eating a whole food plant-based diet. Eat when you're hungry. Honor your body. It's so wise. And this goes into the third mindset tip, which is work with your body, not against it. Have you been frustrated with your body, annoyed with your body, feeling like you were given something unfair and this isn't fair to me and I just need to, this stupid body is getting older and it's losing muscle mass and that energy the body reads, baby. This mind-body connection, don't think that we can say things about our body and think that the body doesn't listen to that. You hurt your body's feelings, not going to be too happy with you. Instead, let's treat this with compassion. The body is trying its absolute best. It wants to be healthy. Support it. Work with it. Work with yourself. Give yourself a big hug as opposed to cracking the whip, because what your body needs is support and compassion during this time, not frustration and ridicule. If you need more help, I would love to help you and give you the exact roadmap to get to that firing metabolism. So you can click the link in the down bar, learn all about the Slim on Starch program, and we will make this thing happen for you. If you made it to this point of the video, I want you to comment, not fast and furious, because I don't like the energy of furious. Let's do, what's another good F word? Fast and fearless. Ooh. I like that, huh? Because our metabolism is going to be fast and we are going to be fearless. We are going to step into this and we are going to achieve the fast metabolism that not only you deserve, but you are designed to have. You got this, honey. I love you and I'll see you in my next video.